Hello and welcome. I have what some might call a gift, while others refer to it as a curse. Tonight I offer you a pair of stories, a diabolical duo guaranteed to give you nightmares. The first deals with a haunting, but forget about charming old Gothic mansions and chains rattling in the attic. The story is called Something Evil, which might describe a number of things here on the Nightfall radio show. After my parents divorced when I was a teenager, I lived with my mother, and I experienced lots of paranormal happenings. Several times when I was reading in my bed, the room would start to feel really icy. Next, I would feel as if something or somebody that hated me was staring at me. When I got that feeling, I would leave the room and come back an hour later. Sometimes during the day, I would see a shadow figure sneaking along my bedroom walls. Something in that apartment was pretending to be my dog. I went into my room and heard a deep growl from under the bed. Now understand, my dog isn't that big, and it was nowhere near capable of making a noise that deep. It sounded like either a really big dog or a man doing his best dog impersonation. Other times my dog would whimper and pace in the room next to mine, but wouldn't come in when called, as if he was afraid of something in the hallway. Whatever it was seemed pure evil. When I moved in with my father, the paranormal activity stopped. Our next feature deals with a high school reunion and the recapturing of memories and days long gone. But even such benign things can reveal something surprisingly supernatural. Our tale is called An Old Friend, and he's waiting for you here on the Nightfall radio show. Years ago, when I was 37 years old, I went to my high school reunion. I flew into the nearest airport and rented a car. The distance was about 35 miles through a very rural and almost abandoned part of the country. About 3 miles outside of town, I saw someone on the side of the road, flagging me down. It turned out that it was one of the guys I'd attended school with. His name was Tim. And he got in the car and we started talking. I hadn't seen him in 20 years, but he still looked the same, maybe a little older. Anyway, we got to town and I asked him if he wanted to come to the VFW and have a drink. And he said, "No, just take me home." Tim's parents had lived only a few blocks from my grandmother's house, and I turned in that direction, but he said to take him to the outskirts of town. There was a mobile home park out there, and I figured that was where he lived. When we reached the end of the turnoff, he said, "Just drop me here. It was good to see you again." And he walked off into the night. So I got to the VFW and met some of my own classmates, and we started talking. As we went on and on about who all was coming to the reunion, I mentioned that I just picked up Tim 3 miles east of town and dropped him off. All of a sudden, everyone got quiet. Even the guy singing karaoke stopped and laid down the microphone. My cousin, who was there too, got a weird-ass look on her face. Then I was told something that shocked me. Tim died on that curve 8 years ago. Rolled his car. We were all at his funeral. I started to feel really dizzy. I went out to my car to take some deep breaths. There on the seat was a copy of the local newspaper, printed 8 years previously, containing Tim's obituary. I still have the paper.